Hello, this is Rita Lockpatine, and I am creating a video on the ProjectSend project for the Virgin Swamp Preservation Society. And I will be sending out a Word doc which gives a high-level overview of it, also a PowerPoint presentation which has more workflow step-by-step instructions, and a link to rlock.com, which is where I've put a view of how the structure is set up in the program. So in December, actually Q4 of 2019, I installed ProjectSend, and this is an overview of it, but in a nutshell, it's a place for the Virgin Swamp Preservation Society to upload files and give access to either trustees or outside stakeholders in a secure manner. I have set up 4 accounts, 4 administrator accounts, and I'm doing this in stages because I can't bring everybody on board. Now, John Adamski, Bill, and Andy have all uploaded files and have a big stake in this, so I'm hoping that they will be willing to be the beta testers of this, if you will. And Bill has an administrative account. I will be creating at the end of this an account for John and Andy, and you will be getting an email notification with your credentials to log in, and you can follow through. This video or some of the other pieces or artifacts for training. I'm going to go slow with this because I think you are all consumers of applications, but not administrators. And administrators have a different view. They will be setting up the information architecture, responsible for uploading the files, associating the files into categories, creating people. These are clients, and creating client groups. I have done a lot of this already. I've created client groups. These are just test clients. Like I said, everybody that's a trustee will be an administrator. And we have files that I've uploaded from 3 sources: the Google Drive that Andy created, the Google Drive I created, and the shared Dropbox folder. All right. So here's the overall administration that we need to focus on. Files will exist, just one file will exist. We can associate each file into categories, and this is just a way to group them. And one way to think about categories is a hierarchy, and this is what's on rlock.org. So I have created a top hierarchy of the category of the Virgin Swamp Preservation Society. I have also added additional categories below it, and this is the hierarchy. So there's the Preservation Society Legal, and this is a list of all the documents in legal. The trustee meetings, we have 3 artifacts, 3 categories under the meetings. We have the treasurer reports, the meeting minutes, and the meeting agendas. This is not complete. Right now we need to backfill these items, but it gives you an idea of the structure. Okay, the members' dinner artifacts, the BPS clothing, some of these have come from, what we already, the architecture we already had, say on the Google Drives or Dropbox. You can collapse this and then see the top level grouping, which is basically there's a top level trustee and then the properties, the 5 properties. Now, the Virgin Swamp and Zurich are the only properties that have documentation. This, I believe, is what John has been uploading. And in the Virgin Swamp, we have photos. This is research that Andy's done that uploaded. And then scans. Scans is basically, it's a generic drop to put documents in. So these Hotchkiss, Slater, Taylor do not have documents uploaded, but they have a shared structure, if you will, based on, for all the properties. So there's a committee folder. Think of these, you can also think of categories as folders or directories. There's photos, legal, research, and scans. Associated with all of these is a category for sharing. And this is where we will drop documents in that are going to be shared for collaboration. One client that we may be sharing with is our lawyer, right? We've got a lawyer. We may want to put the documents for our bylaws in here. It's a secure place to transfer documentation back and forth with the lawyer. When you log in, when you get your administrative credentials and you log in, you will be brought to this page, which is the home page. And down the dashboard, down this side are all the tools. I'm going to be giving a high-level overview of what to do with the Files tool, clients, client groups, and system users. This is going to be for another day, and actually a deep dive into each one of these is going to be for another day. What I'd like you to do is just get familiar with the interface. Like again, if you're not used to being an administrator, it's going to be a paradigm shift. If you've ever administrated an application, this might be very familiar to you. I've included a how-to document. It's a presentation, and I've gone and captured step by step all of this. You know, when you log in, what you'll see, the relationships of the files, client groups, categories, administrators. When I get done with this video, I will be adding Andy and John. Bill already has one. I already have one. But this is an example of how I did create an administrator, right? I I went to the add new, filled out the information. When you save, you get a verification, confirmation, and then you're going to get an email. Please hold off adding new administrators. The objective here for right now is just to get Andy, Bill, and John familiar with the interface and comfortable asking questions. There might be things we tweak. Files, there's only going to be one version of the files on the system, and this is good. It saves resources. So one of the places I want you to look is just manage files. You're going to see they're explicitly listed here, and we've got a lot. I've updated a lot. I've uploaded a lot already. Categories, I've built these categories out already. And again, if you think of categories as being similar to file folders, if you're a Windows person, or directories, if you're iOS, Linux, or Unix, and they're nested, right? So it's hard to see the nesting in this interface, which is why I created the rlock.org page. Helps to give you a better visual of the nesting of the directories. All right, where was I? I was in the PowerPoint. Okay, so again, just a reminder how these are all related to each other. rlock.org is a good reference if you want that visualization. Now, want to talk about clients, and this might be something you want to play around with, is adding temporary clients. However, just know, as soon as you click the Add Client, an email notification will be going out, and you'll want to use a secondary email if you have one, if possible, just to test this. This is an example of a required field, or an error message, if you will. You can't save until all the required fields are filled in, and upload file size is required. So add the file size limit and click save, and you'll get the confirmation that the client's been added. And now you can view the client in the Manage Clients page. Right now, they do not have access to anything, so all they can do is log in, but they won't see anything. You need to either assign them to files or to groups, and groups, like I said, have files associated with them. So go to the Actions button here, And that will bring you into this interface where you see groups here. You can associate them with one of our groups. I selected the Virgin Swamp. And now when you come back, the client is associated to groups. You can also give them just access to specific files. You don't have to associate them with a group. Currently, the client groups are the trustees, the Virgin Swamp, and then basically the 5 properties. I envision that we may want to extend administration to committee chairs or property chairs, and but that's something we need to discuss. So that's it in a nutshell. If you could just play around in project, looking at the files. Please don't upload anything. That's going to be another training session. Again, I just want you to get used to looking at these, the interface. If you've if you've never administered anything, this could be a new to you. So getting acclimated with the interface, asking me questions where you have them, and the next step will be discussing the procedure for uploading files, creating new clients, creating new client groups, creating new categories, if you will. Okay, and then the third training will be taking a deep dive into the system administration. All right, so that's all I have in a nutshell, and I look forward to hearing from you.